September 11th, regular county legislative meeting. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Michael Yurden.
Present.
Herbert Yurden.
Present.
Edward Gilson.
Here.
David Holtz.
Here.
Roy Greenhill's been marked excused. John Martino.
Here.
Frank Lombardo.
Here.
Paul House has been marked excused. James Weatherup.
Here.
Mary Ellen Chesbro has been marked excused. Linda Lockwood. Here. Richard Klein.
Present.
Patrick Twist has been marked excused. Stephen Walpole has been marked excused. Kevin Hill.
Here.
James Scanlon.
Here.
Charles Berger.
Here.
Robert Wilmot's been marked excused. Marie Schad. Marie Schad.
Here, sorry, I was jamming with my neighbor.
Paul Conley.
Here.
Noel Samuelson. Here. James Karasik.
Here.
Michael Soloway.
Here.
Mark Greco.
Here.
Frank Castilia.
Wouldn't miss it.
Mr. Chairman, that's 19 present and 6 excused. You have a quorum.
Thank you. Would you now lead us in the invocation?
On this day, let us take a moment to acknowledge and appreciate the blessings, opportunities, and challenges that shape our lives. As we reflect on the tragic events of September 11, 2001, let us honor the memory of those who lost their lives and extend our support to those who continue to mourn. We must also recognize the remarkable courage of those who selflessly responded and sacrificed their lives to assist others. In their memory, let us dedicate ourselves to serving our communities, upholding values that future generations can build upon with confidence and hope. Amen.
Thank you. And today's pledge will be led by legislators Berger and Scanlon.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would also ask for a moment of silence. Let's take a moment to remember the lives lost on September 11th, 2001, and honor the courage of the first responders who showed us the true meaning of service, the victims, and all those affected by this tragedy. As a community, we stand together in remembrance, resilience, and unity. I would also take this opportunity to remember Charlie Kirk, who was senselessly assassinated yesterday while speaking on the campus at Utah Valley University. Per the President of the United States, we will be flying our flags at half-staff until Sunday night to honor Mr. Kirk. Now for a moment of silence. Thank you. Thank you. At this point, I think we've had a chance to look at the minutes for the regular meeting, July 10th and August 14th, 2025. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. At this time, we're going to have a proclamation for National Preparedness Month. So could I have the Public Safety Committee and Kathy Palmatessel please come forward?
Everybody switch, Kevin, you stand right where you are. I'll have everybody take one big step to your left. Thank you. Do you want to read first or do you want to do the photo first? Can you show the proclamation?
Yep.
All right. On the count of 3. One, two, three. And the second. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Thank you.
National Preparedness Month. Whereas National Preparedness Month in September encourages all Oswego residents to join others across the U.S. preparing homes, businesses, and communities for emergencies including national disasters and terrorist threats, and whereas Oswego County has faced severe weather events such as floods, flash floods, thunderstorms, tornadoes, high winds, winter storms, understanding local risk, and planning strengthens community resilience and safety, and whereas supporting vulnerable propulsion such as older adults, people with disabilities, and those at higher risk, strengthens overall community response, and whereas county departments including emergency management, health office for the aging, veterans, and social service actively collaborate to promote emergency preparedness and for all residents. And whereas creating family disaster plans and emergency supply kits is essential to household readiness and resilience. Now therefore, I, James Weatherup, Chair of the Oswego County Legislature, declare September as National Preparedness Month in Oswego County and urge all residents, businesses, government agencies, and organizations to prepare and work together toward a safer, stronger, and more resilient community.
Real quick, while we have this great turnout from the community here tonight, I'd like to take a moment to encourage all of you to reflect on this past year and really particularly any challenges that you might have faced through any of the severe weather we've had, whether it be a wind event or a power outage or a flood event or anything that challenged you to be prepared. So we just want you to take a moment and try to find ways to be more resilient. Try to prepare your family and your household for those emergencies so you can be better prepared in the future. So thank you for your time and appreciation.
Stay up. Yes, thank you. At this time, I would also, for a proclamation in recognition of Sheriff's Week, Public Safety Committee, and Sheriff Hilton, please come forward.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And the second. 1, 2, 3.
All right, Sheriff's Week, September 14th through the 20th, 2025. Whereas the Office of Sheriff has been an integral part of the criminal justice system in New York State and in Oswego County throughout our history, having been established in the state's first constitution in 1777 and having been continued in every succeeding constitution, and having been one of our original constitutional offices upon the founding of our country. And whereas, despite changes in its function, status, powers, during its long history, the Office of Sheriff has maintained a continuous existence, preserved its distinguished heritage, and continued to be an essential component of our criminal justice community. And whereas, the Office of Sheriff has evolved into a modern, professional, full-service law enforcement and corrections agency manned by well-trained police officers and correction officers, using state-of-the-art technology and applying the latest and most advanced theories and practices in the fields of law enforcement and corrections. And whereas, the Office of Sheriff is unique in the community, and the duties of the office go far beyond the traditional role of keeper of the peace, and extend into many facets of public service, beyond law enforcement and corrections, to include providing security in our courts, delivering waterway and trail safety patrol, and handling the civil process for our courts. And whereas, as a constitutionally empowered office directly responsible to the people, the ancient Office of Sheriff remains, even today, responsive and accountable to the public it serves. And whereas, it is fitting to celebrate the historical contributions of the Office of Sheriff and the significant role that the sheriffs play in our modern criminal justice system. Now, therefore, we, the Oswego County Legislature, do hereby recognize the important services provided to the citizens of this county by Sheriff Hilton and the members of the Sheriff's Office, and do hereby proclaim September the 14th to the 20th, 2025, to be Sheriff's Week in Oswego County. Be it resolved that Chairman Weatherup of the Oswego County Legislature, on behalf of the entire legislature and the people of Oswego County, do hereby recognize Sheriff Week as September 14th through the 20th, 2025, and command each sheriff members of the Sheriff's Office and families for their unwavering commitment to public safety in Oswego County. This especially is a proud moment to remember. Sheriff?
I want to thank you for the recognition, men and women, really appreciate it. And also, we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the loss of one of our deputies. That'll be on the 25th, and there is a breakfast with all the legislatures and the public and first responders are invited to at our office. Again, we appreciate the recognition, especially for the men and women. Thank you.
We also want to wish the sheriff a very happy birthday.
Thank you. Introduction of visitors, Legislator Castillo.
Mr. Chairman, fellow legislators and guests, it's my honor and privilege to introduce you today, Mayor of the fine city of Fulton, Mr. Jim Rice.
Thank you. At this time, we'll move to public speakers on resolutions of the day. Legislator Martino.
There are.
Thank you. Just a quick reminder for perhaps if you're new here, these are related to resolutions that we actually vote on here today. And only those resolutions. Public comment comes at a later point. We limit you to 5 minutes in the interest of fairness. Having said that, again, Mayor Jim Rice from the city of Fulton for resolution EP5. Come forward, please.
Good evening, Chairman Weather and members of the legislature. Earlier this spring, I stood before this body to express my strong support for the resolution authorizing the execution of memoranda of understanding with the City of Fulton and other interested municipalities regarding the proposed construction of and treatment of wastewater from the Southern Oswego County Regional Interceptor Sewer, better known as the SOCRS project. At that time, I outlined 7 key benefits this initiative will bring to our region, benefits that strengthen not only the City of Fulton, but Oswego County as a whole. The resolution before you this evening, EP-5, represents a critical next step in that process. By authorizing the application for acceptance and expenditure of Catalyst program funds from the Northern Borders Regional Commission, Oswego County is signaling its continued commitment to moving this transformative project forward. On behalf of the City of Fulton, I wish to commend this body for its steady leadership on the SOCRS project and express my strong support for the adoption of Resolution EP5. I look forward to my scheduled meeting next week for an update on the progress being made. I respectfully urge you to approve this resolution so that we may continue to build momentum together. Thank you for your time, your vision, and your commitment to a stronger future for all of Oswego County. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. At this time, I would ask Patty Famelo to come forward on resolution FP3. Thank you. Thank you. You have 5 minutes.
My name is Patty Famelo, and I will speak about Resolution FT3 to authorize amendment of the Management Compensation Plan. I myself was covered under the Management Compensation Plan before my retirement from the county as a Human Resource Administrator with a Senior Professional Certification in Human Resources. A complete analysis here is impossible, but let me address emergency response compensation on page 12. This provision applies to 5 salaried members of the Sheriff's Office, a corrections supervisor, and 4 patrol lieutenants. It allows them to receive overtime pay for responding to an incident or circumstance that possesses a threat to public life, safety, or well-being that falls outside of their standard scope of work. These 5 employees would be eligible for overtime pay for responding to officer-involved shootings, major crime scenes, and major accident scenes. Since the 4 lieutenants are supervisory staff, I would expect they regularly respond to these types of incidents as part of their standard scope of work. Rather than providing overtime, the sheriff can allow these officers to flex their schedules when they respond during non-business hours. Alternatively, a provision to provide comp time instead of overtime pay would provide greater flexibility to the sheriff, allowing him to manage his team while also controlling costs. This plan includes a new pay raise for the 4 lieutenants, raising their annual salaries to between $109,000 and $115,000. If approved, the overtime provisions allows them to additionally increase their annual salary by as much as 12.5%. For the 4 lieutenants, that's potentially more than $50,000 a year in total earnings, plus fringe benefits. This overtime will raise their average salaries and boost their pensions, which is another long-term cost to the county. The county will be facing numerous financial challenges as a result of the budget bill and should be seeking ways to contain costs. The county's unionized employees should not have to bear the brunt of upcoming funding cuts because particular members of the management staff are getting a sweet deal. The plan also includes other vitally important county positions, which are not authorized to receive overtime. It doesn't mean these other management employees don't routinely work more than 35 to 40 hours in a week. It just means they don't have the same privileges as the men in the sheriff's department. Given the potential overtime costs, the sheriff should be required to submit a report to the Public Safety Committee, Finance and Personnel Committee, stating how much was spent on overtime under this new provision, the nature of the response that warranted the overtime, an explanation as to why the lieutenants could not flex their time. If the legislature approves this resolution, I hope they will first pause to ensure appropriate oversight of this very lucrative provision. A report to the county legislature is needed so the public knows where their tax dollars are being spent. The sheriff recently assisted federal agents on an immigration raid outside of our county at a factory in Cato. That expense to our taxpayers is not required or necessary, so let's not also give out overtime pay. Thank you.
Moving to reports of county officials, I would add or offer at this point that to our south, just south of the city of Fulton and the town of Valney, there's a Addis ethanol plant, former Sunoco, former Miller Brewing. It was subject to a tax auction. We've been chasing this for years. Just today, we received just south of $5 million to replenish the back taxes on that stuff. There's some more issues that we're going to clear up with the judge, hopefully for some reimbursements. This is also related to Resolution FP4 that you'll see later on. Is there any other county officials? Legislator Martinez.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to take a moment and give credit where credit is due. Our county administrator this past week has now taken the reins and is the president of NISAC. which is New York State Association of Counties, works very hard for all of the counties within this state. And it's pretty good that we have a northern representative who is now president of that entity for the entire state. Congratulations, Phil.
Your acceptance, go ahead, Paul.
I neglected to do this under visitors, but in 2007, when I was first sworn in, my wife Melissa accompanied me to that and held the Bible for me. She wasn't my wife then, but she's never been back since. Until tonight, she came back to see what I've been up to in the last 18 years. So, Melissa, welcome.
Thank you, and again, congratulations. Reports of standing committees.
Thank you,
Legislator
Mr.
Chance.
Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to make everybody aware that's here that there is a beautiful 3-page flyer in the back from the Oswego County Tourism Office. And they go over everything you can do for the next month within the county that's associated with tourism and having fun. Tons of stuff on here. Pick it up when you're ready. Thank you.
Thank you. Any reports of special committees? Thank you. Moving on to resolutions and motions. Government Courts and Consumer Affairs by Legislator Holtz.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution, urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
A resolution appointing a director of the Real Property Tax Service Agency in and for the County of Oswego pursuant to Real Property Tax Law.
Yes, this has to be amended, and the amendment is, I move to amend the first resolve to GC1 by striking the words pursuant to salary grade SB 50, step 15, and replacing it with a salary of $79,178 pursuant to the management compensation.
I'll second that amendment. Thank you. Second. Any discussion on the amendment? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 19 in favor, 0 opposed, and 6 excused.
Thank you. Back then to the resolution as amended. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 19 in favor, 0 opposed, and 6 excused as amended.
Thank you. I saw Corey in the back. Who's there? Congratulations.
There she is.
Raise your hand, Corey. You're in. Thank you. Resolution GC2 by Legislator Holtz.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution, urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing county clerk's office and Oswego County DMVs to enter into an agreement with the New York State Railway Authority to sell Easy Pass tags.
Yes, this is where we purchase these for $21 per tag, and we'll sell them for $25. County's able to keep $4 for.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 19 in favor, 0 opposed, and 6 excused.
Thank you. Public Safety Committee, Legislator Greco, there are no resolutions. Moving to the Human Services Committee, resolution, or Human Services Committee by Legislator Scanlon.
Mr. Chairman, I offer the following resolutions as a block and by consent. HS1, HS2, HS3, HS4, and HS5. I urge you to discuss.
Thank you. May I have a second? Second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 19 in favor, 0 opposed, and 6 excused, and this is a block.
Thank you. Moving then to Economic Development Planning Committee, Legislator Samuelson.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I make a motion to move EP 1 through 6 as a block by consent.
Second. Any multiple seconds? Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 19 in favor, 0 opposed, and 6 excused, and this is a block.
Thank you. Resolution EP7 by Legislator Samuelson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution fixing time and place for public hearing relative to proposed County of Oswego Local Law Number 3 of the year 2025, entitled, "A Local Law Declaring Oswego County as an Eligible Area under New York State Environmental Conservation Law and authorizing the participation in a deer hunting pilot program thereafter."
Yes, this is simply a resolution setting a public hearing, as the resolution says on the screen. Because Oswego County is they are eligible to have a New York State Environmental Conservation Law to participate in a deer hunting pilot program, we would like to do this. This would allow persons who are 12 and 13-year-olds to hunt alongside an experienced adult and participate during the deer hunting season.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Castillo.
Mr. Chairman, fellow legislators, I know that this is just a resolution for the public hearing. I spoke on this, opposing this in committee. I didn't have a vote. I still opposed to this. I just don't feel comfortable us even bringing this forward to a public hearing. 12 and 13-year-olds too young to be carrying a loaded shotgun during deer season. They need to go back to when, ancient times when I grew up, and you didn't have a deer license until you were 16. And I think we should go back to those times. That's when we were more apt to being able to handle things properly. Thank you very much for your time, sir. I'm not voting in favor of this.
Any other discussion? Legislator Salmon.
Well, I have to say, ancient times, people probably started hunting when they were 10 or younger, but I'd just like to say that this will simply allow our sons, daughters, granddaughters, grandsons who have decided to carry on the American tradition of learning self-reliance and how to feed a family if they need to be able to do so. I can think of actually no better way for future generations to learn respect for guns, to learn how to use a gun, and to use it appropriately. I think this is a very responsible, appropriate direction to take on this. And as of today, I read this report from the DEC, which substantiates that there's a serious deer overage problem in our state, and they're handing out extra permits this year to try to control it. So I would urge you to vote yes.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Legislator Castillo.
I hear the arguments all the time that we need to teach them young to be able to handle a gun, and I totally agree with that. But not to be going in on deer season till you're 16. And as far as the older population of the deer, I would say a major cause of that is that you have so much posted property that people are not being able to hunt as freely as they used to be, and therefore not as many deer are being taken. But either way, we'll argue it when it comes up to public hearing. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Legislator Gilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For months now, we've been hearing how important it is for us to hear from the public. And I think that message has gotten through to us. This resolution is for a public hearing. We can allow the public to voice your opinion on which direction we should go on this. I look forward to hearing from the public on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Legislator Castillo.
What time will the public hearing be?
2 p.m. October 9th.
That's a great time for the public. Thank you.
Yeah, it is. If they want to be there, they will.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 17 in favor, 2 opposed, and 6 excused.
Thank you. Moving to the Health Committee with Legislator Greco.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to make a motion to move HE1 and HE2 as a block by consent.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 19 in favor, 0 opposed, and 6 excused to move this block.
Thank you. Moving to the Infrastructure, Facilities, Technology Committee, Legislator Martino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I make a motion to move IT 1 through 4 as a block by consent.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
By multiple seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Chairman, that's 19 in favor, 0 opposed, and 6 excused.
Thank you. Moving to Finance and Personnel Committee, Resolution FP1 by Legislator Martino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution of the legislature of the county of Oswego increasing taxes on sales and uses of communal personal property and of certain services on occupancy of hotel rooms and on amusement charges pursuant to Article 29 of the tax law of the state of New York.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a renewal of Resolution 4A, Section 4A, Resolution number 48 of 1996, enacted by this legislature, this body, that was renewed again in September 1st of 2004, and that is expiring in November 30th, 2027. This is the renewal for that 1% increase.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 19 in favor, 0 opposed, and 6 excused.
Thank you. Resolution FP2 by Legislator Martino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the amendment of the management compensation plan.
As you know, we've had some issues with the Sheriff's Department moving them forward. This is the language in the management compensation plan to get candidates to move up within the ranks as pursuant to the plan.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Castillo.
Mr. Chairman, I move to strike, amend this on page 12. Move to strike the emergency response compensation section on page 12 in its entirety. The salaried employees should not earn overtime pay, sets a bad precedent for other salaried employees. 2, I move to amend emergency response compensation so that listed employees earn comp time rather than additional compensation. In the first and third paragraphs, the word additional compensation should be stricken and replaced with the word comp time. The fourth paragraph in that provision should be stricken in its entirety and replaced with employees must use all earned comp time within 12 months from the date of actual, not to exceed 160 hours per year. 3, move to amend the second paragraph by striking the words assistance at major crime scenes and assistance at major accident scenes from the first line and editing the following sentence at the end. Assistance at major crime scenes and assistance at major accidents shall not be considered an emergency situation. While a lieutenant should be expected to respond to officer-involved shootings and serious injuries to officers as a normal part of their duties, those are uncommon, low-frequency events. However, as a police agency, the Sheriff's Office regularly and routinely responds to major crime scenes and major accident scenes. They should not earn additional compensation or comp time for responding to these actions. And I ask for a vote on that, please, sir.
First, you need a second for the amendment.
Pardon me?
You need a second. There's a second. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Legislator Martino.
I do have something to say on this. As much as I can understand my counterpart and his changes, I would like to make it known that our county administrator, our human resource director, along with the Sheriff's Department, had discussed and went through these changes and made it so it was comfortable for them and comfortable for us to accommodate the needs of the Sheriff's Department.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Legislator Schott.
Mr. Chairman, it's certainly going to be uncomfortable for the taxpayer when this kicks in. And if we insist on doing this overtime provision, I think we should probably include highway workers, Department of Health employees, and DSS employees. If we're going to be fair and equitable, if you're going to add to what was already a paid salary, this management compensation thing has got me spinning. But I don't see this as a good thing at all.
Thank you. Legislator Gilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A couple of points, they may seem minor, but I think they're important. Allocating or reserving comp time typically leads to scheduling problems down the road. We've asked the sheriff to hold a tight staff there and to save money, but still to have the coverage he needs. This is one more thing they have to look for as they're scheduling their time. Somebody taking unplanned vacation or comp time off. And then there's the cost of having to allocate or keep on our books to reserve the cost for this comp time. We would have to make sure that we have it available. So I'll be voting against the amendment.
Okay. Thank you. Any other discussion?
Mr. Chair, I would like to point out as part of this conversation, being the chair of public safety, and I would like to note that one of the big issues here is that the sergeants make more money than the lieutenants with the overtime. The sergeants will not advance in rank and take a pay cut. That's the big issue here, and that's why this is the main reason that we have to look at this issue. Besides the fact that they weren't being compensated for their time. You're not going to get qualified people that will move up in the ranks, but they're not going to make the money that they're already getting paid. So if you're going to get a pay cut by getting promoted, you're not going to want to get promoted. And that's the issues that we're facing.
Legislator Shaw.
Mr. Chairman, have we asked or researched, Phil, I guess this question is more for you, what other counties have done in this circumstance?
I'm not certain other counties have been in this circumstance, but I do know that the rank of lieutenant that we assign as a lieutenant is more equivalent to that of captain in city police departments. So this is equitable as far as I know with what other lieutenants or captains are making depending on the department.
Do we know what they're making across the state in comparable county sizes?
Well, the HR department can look at that. And then we routinely will research what other departments make. If you recall, we just had a whole compensation study that was done and that was done, I believe, before we made the lieutenant title. So this is also a further adjustment.
Perhaps the next study should be an efficiency study throughout the county. Is it true or not true that 10 years ago, when we had a population of about 125,000, and we now have a population of about 117,000, we now have 97 more employees than we did at 125,000. I'm just very concerned with what's going to happen with money downstream and how hard we're going to be hit and what the backlash is from a business standpoint. I am not pointing anything out or saying anyone's not doing a good job. What I'm saying is that there's a fiscal cliff right in front of our eyes. Thank you.
Any other discussion?
I agree with Marie, but the only thing I can say to that is people are becoming needier and needier, if you haven't noticed. So the need is there for all the county services to provide to these people.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
I couldn't hear what the legislator was saying, I'm sorry.
Well, what she said was that we are becoming more needy as a society and that our government supplies those people in need. There's more of them now than there was perhaps 10 years ago.
Thank you very much, sir.
Legislator Shaw.
Maybe we need to push more employment and training in a very, very robust way.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Any other discussion? All those in favor?
This is on the amendment.
This is on the amendment.
Almost got it, Jeff, I almost got it. Almost got it, Jeff.
Well, it's already 10 minutes ago, I got lost. All right, on the amendment. All those in favor? Legislator Kazee? All those in favor of the amendment, raise your hand. Changing it up, let's keep you guys awake. All those opposed, raise your hand. Thank you. Back to the original resolution then. Any discussion? Legislator Castillo.
Mr. Chairman, after that vote and seeing how it's well it went, I'm going to move to table this resolution. In fact, that the topics that Legislator Schott brought up about information from other counties and whether or not we found out from other counties before we did this, I think that's pertinent so that we all know this before we vote, to do this. Because once we vote and do it, it's in there. And it take, pulling eye teeth to be able to get it out. But, I'm just asking to table this, bring it back next month after we've done a study from the other counties to find out what they do and how they do it. Looking for a second on that, please.
Just for information, and I see your second, that was discussed during the compensation study. We saw the list from all the other counties, all the other, line by line. But
We didn't see the list.
You got a copy of it, Frank?
Well, I believe everybody got a copy, everybody got a copy.
I got a second. You got another discussion.
Legislator Martinez.
I mean, I'd be reluctant to say that
No
it's
debate.
possible after, if this is what Legislator Castillo wants, that we may find that we're still underpaying more than what the number's gonna come back at. I can tell you, and I don't have specific numbers off the top of my head, but I can tell you they're getting paid much more than what we're offering. There's somebody in this room that I can attest to was making way more than what we're offering.
Thank you.
No debate on the vote.
What's that, legislator?
There's no debate on the table.
No. All right, so motion to table and did get a second. All in favor of tabling, raise your hand.
Well, I'm trying to put both hands
All
up, see if I can
opposed?
get 3 votes.
All opposed to tabling, you can't go to the cemetery and get a hand either. Anybody, all opposed, please raise your hand.
Mr. Chairman, that's 2 in favor, 17 opposed, and 6 excused out of the
All right, so back, third shot. The resolution.
We'll get through it.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 17 in favor, 2 opposed, and 6 excused.
Thank you. Resolution FB3 by Legislator Martino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have this resolution and urge adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution approving a memorandum of understanding with the Oswego County Professional Association.
This is it to enter into a collective bargaining agreement governing terms, conditions of employment, personnel. The parties to CBA believe it will be mutually beneficial to enter into this memorandum of understanding regarding provisions of overtime payment for the position of shared supervisors. That's what we just discussed.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 17 in favor, 2 opposed, and 6 excused.
Thank you. Moving to Resolution FP4 by Legislator Martino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution approving budget modification as facility utilities.
Mr. Chairman, we need to do a budget mod to bring in over $60,000 for the utilities for this facility that we will be buying to get back through the sale, along with, as you stated earlier, the sale of the Edison. We're looking to get all of the reimbursements for all the things that we spent on this back from that sale.
Correct. This is part of what we're hoping to get restitution from. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 19 in favor, 0 opposed, and 6 excused.
Thank you. Any unfinished business? Legislator Castillo.
Not on unfinished business, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to make a motion to waive the rules for PS1.
Do we have a second? Do we have a
I
second?
asked the
Do we have a
clerk to
second?
read the
We
heading.
have a resolution, we have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? 2. All those opposed? Thank you. Moves. Any other unfinished business? Any miscellaneous business? Legislator Castillo.
Mr. Chairman, fellow legislators, this is amendments to 8. We've been running for 45 minutes. The meeting lasted maybe a half hour. Tonight again, because it's an evening meeting, the minority caucus put forward blocking of a lot of resolutions. The reason we did that is to give ample time for the public to be able to speak and ample time for the legislators to be here and get home at a normal time. At one meeting, the legislative meeting ended at 1 hour and 13 minutes. An hour later is when the discussion, public comment ended. During that meeting, there was a handful of legislators still left. The one legislative meeting in June, the last nighttime meeting we had, the legislative meeting took 50 minutes. At the end, when we ended the meeting, there was maybe 8 legislators left in this building to hear the public speak. And it only took an hour for them to speak. And I think that's very shameful of us to walk out that door when we have a meeting that when the public can come. If you can't spend 2 hours, okay, with your constituents,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You have stated over and over and repeatedly that this public comment period is for people to speak and say what they wish. And I'm all for that. My issue lies within what the county can do. If somebody would like to speak on what the county can do, and not federal, and not state, what the county can do, I would be happy to listen to any comment at any time. I would have coffee with somebody to talk about county issues, not federal, not state. When I start hearing public comment that has to do directly with Oswego County and the constituents of Oswego County and things that this legislative body can do, I'll be happy to listen. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any other miscellaneous business? Thank you. I'm looking for the appropriate motion. Motion adjourned. So adjourned. Thank you. A little bit of housekeeping here. So, Legislator Martino, public comment period.
There are.
Thank you. I would again remind the public that it is public comment period. It is open for that purpose. We do ask you, in the interest of fairness, to keep it at 5 minutes. We've tried to stress that. It's getting better. It's not personal when the buzzer goes off, but to be fair to your neighbor and to your next speaker, we're going to enforce that a little more directly. At this point, I would ask Shauna Redding to come forward. Thank you. You have 5 minutes.
Thank you. just want to note that for all the times that I've been here, I've seen people, some of you guys leave when we are speaking about us real problems. So it's not just the federal stuff. Many of us come here to share our grievances, hoping that solutions will be made. Sometimes they're not. We need to come up with solutions and put it into action. There's only so much a person can do, and sometimes we need more to make a difference. There are 25 of you for a small county. You can take the next step on some of our grievances we share. Listening to the meetings lately, I am so appalled at how disrespectful we have become to each other. We have 5 minutes here. It is about being respectful in the meeting and being respectful to the other speakers. The chairman has expressed that to you many times. Speaking out of turn while sitting down there last month was uncalled for. The legislators who leave and don't listen to the public, do you understand how rude and disrespectful that is? You are showing us that you don't care or don't care about anything we have to say. You technically work for us, the taxpayers, your people, your county. The estimation of around 117,000 people. I do thank the chairman for last time explaining why a legislator was leaving, and that was a gesture worth being respected for, along with the gentleman who apologized to the chairman as well. There has been talk on decreasing benefits such as SNAP. There are those who abuse the system and there are those who don't. No matter how hard someone may work, there is not much of an option but to have assistance. The cost of living is increasing and National Grid has not been a big help. I've heard about the amazing things that volunteer groups and food pantries have done to help the community. The county helps with self-sufficiency for education, job training, and transportation. There doesn't seem to be enough resources to help to be more self-sufficient or self-reliant. It basically means having the ability to do things and make decisions by yourself without needing other people to help you. I'm not saying we shouldn't help people. We all need help at some point in our lives. Some longer than others. Life happens. Life gives us a bad hand that we have no control over. This county could use some resources such as learning how to budget, how to shop wisely, stocking up on food and necessities, as in how to do it within a limited budget, within the amount of space that they may have, and to do it within our means. And it isn't just for emergencies. It's possible and it can happen. Doing it gradually makes a big difference. Not long before the county gave our family a shocking blow, we stocked up on what our family needed. When the court and attorneys heard we were getting ready for winter, it became a huge joke to them. I don't drive much in the winter due to rolling my truck on black ice, and for the longest time I didn't have a license and I didn't have much help to go out and get needed things, especially when my husband was deployed or away for training. If we hadn't stocked up on things, those years of the county taking a chunk out of his paycheck, we would have suffered more and we wouldn't have had help because they definitely would have said that he made too much. We managed the basic needs like milk, eggs, and bread. We could barely pay the bills, but we survived. I know many may not want to, but I'm sure that there are those who would want to learn. It would be beneficial to the community. It's beneficial to us. The cost of living, no matter how well you budget your finances and your responsibilities, can be quite the struggle. In today's article, the county administrator said, counties are navigating a time of great change in technology, policy, and community needs. Together, we will build on a century of collaboration to deliver solutions that protect taxpayers and strengthen the vital services our residents rely on. Mr. Church, here's a chance to show us. No matter how small or big an idea is, you won't know what happens if you don't try it. We need to do better than what we've been doing. We need more worthwhile solutions, and as much as I said before, we need to be united. Based on what I've been seeing lately, between the public and officials, it looks to be a long and difficult journey, but we need to start somewhere. Trying options to solve a problem won't always solve it completely or the way we want or how we think it should be solved. You know what they say, practice makes perfect. You all hold high positions. Money and power doesn't make you a better person. Not saying that that's your position. I read a comment online that said that the legislators have been overheard mocking the speakers. If that's true, that's disgusting. It is high time we all grow up and act like adults. Our behaviors and how we treat people make all the difference, and the level of love, compassion, and concern are at the top of that list. Thank you.
We now ask Randy Wilkinson to come forward. Thank you. You have 5 minutes. Thank you.
We're like neighbors. I just moved in around the corner from you.
Oh, yeah?
Beautiful out there, isn't it?
What's that?
Which is beautiful out there, isn't it?
Yeah, I make it that way. Welcome to the neighborhood.
So we bring these issues to this forum because there is no other forum for us to go to. Those of us who are not okay with our neighbors being kidnapped by people wearing masks that will not have. It's absolutely unacceptable. My black and brown friends now have to wonder if they're going to get pulled over and profiled. They have to wonder, do we have to carry our identification with us at all times? You were stating, I'm sorry, I don't know your name.
Legislator Martino.
Nice to meet you. You were stating that you only want us to discuss Oswego County issue. This is an Oswego County issue now.
But there's a problem with what you're saying. Okay?
This is my time. This is my time. I would love to have a coffee with you. I really would. You offered it. I would love it.
This is not a debate. This is not show and tell, nothing like that. This is a time for you to give public comments. And after the meeting, if you would like to contact...
He has a right to address.
I would love to hang, if you haven't, I'd love that. I really would.
And I would say give him an extra minute.
Thank you.
There you go.
That's very kind. So, this is now an Oswego County issue. Our sheriff got involved in another county providing services that are kind of unclear yet. There hasn't been a full story that's been put out about it. Oswego County is one of the poorest counties in New York State. It's a beautiful county and I'm proud to live here. Any funds that we have extra should be given to the county for county services and shouldn't be given to assist masked men with kidnapping our citizens. I learned from a friend in the back that back during World War II, there was a Jewish encampment in Oswego. It was the only one of its kind in the country. We took care of those people. We took care of the most vulnerable among us. I was just reading about it. People would go, they were given clothing, food, they were able to join our education system, and we did not kick them out. Excuse me. I served the state for 23 years. I've been working for state government for 23 years now. I don't get to pick who I serve and how I serve them. I serve everybody equally. I don't have the opportunity to discriminate and to pick on the most vulnerable among us, and I don't believe that our sheriff should have that ability either. This move... Assisting ICE hurts our local businesses, it hurts our families, it hurts our community. 12 children came home from school in Fulton, which is in our county, to having one or both parents not be there. Some of these individuals were sent to Guantanamo. Guantanamo, where the worst of the worst are supposed to go. These were people that were working. These weren't just people that were out on the street committing crimes. They crossed a border that we made up, and they looked more like me moving to Oswego County to take care of my family, to make a stand here, to make this place better. And shame on the sheriff for allowing his sheriffs to go and assist these people. Unacceptable. History will remember.
Count on somebody's minutes there, okay? I'm just kidding. Anyways, Paul McKinney, please come forward.
Wow. I was coming tonight to share some thoughts on the fact that for the last 8 months, many of us have been coming and asking the county legislature to pass a no collusion resolution, but after the gentleman just spoke, I don't think that I could say anything more heartfelt. What I would like to share is that over the 8 months, I've seen the behavior of this legislature, and I've seen many, many resolutions passed that are certainly important to, the county. However, they have failed to address the many concerns that have to do with the health and welfare and safety of folks. I agree that the sheriff's department had no business going over to Cuba County. It has no business here to cooperate with, assist ICE and Border Patrol. They have enough money and they have enough cowboys to do what they're doing. And what they're doing is absolutely unconscionable. What I would like to say is to speak to Jim. Jim, you and your colleagues 2 months ago, you in particular, stood and said to the group a couple of things. You said how proud you were for the bipartisan activity of the legislature. Well, I'll tell you something, my friend. Tonight has certainly solidified, not only for me, but for everybody in this gallery today, how, in fact, this legislature works. It's like an old movie. You come every month, and you say, and you do the same thing. You act as a solid block, whether or not the opposing two people have something valid to say or something valid to add. It's a sham. It's a sham. You also said, Chairman, that you hoped that the legislature wasn't being perceived as the enemy. And then a few days later, you asked for increased visibility of the sheriff's department. What a joke. What a joke. I just have one other thing to say. People are being hurt. Contrary to what many of you may think, that these folks over in Cato were all criminals, they weren't. The majority of them had legal papers. We know that. We found that out. And another segment had their paperwork in process. But you know, when they were asked if they could go to their cars and get their paperwork, they were denied that right.
Shame.
It is a shame. It is a shame. I told you a story a couple months ago about my mom and dad as a kid going to bed. Remember putting your head on your pillow and asking yourself just one question: did I do the best I could today? I didn't tell you the second part of that story. My mom always said to me, but don't worry, if you didn't, Paul, there's always tomorrow. For God's sakes, people, do the right thing and do it now before more people get.
Thank you. At this point, could Jim Cannon please come forward?
So I don't ramble on. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jim Cannon. I've been a resident of Fulton for over 20 years. I live in District 22. Mr. Karasek, how you doing? Early in my life, I spent 12 years in the Army, starting out as a private, ending up as a captain. In 1980, as a sergeant, I worked in training and operations as an NCO for the task force for the Cuban refugees aboard Chaffee, Arkansas. The one thing I can tell you about that is I saw the good and bad in both the refugees and the personnel working there. I have a whole bunch of other stuff I was going to say, but I was so irritated 5 minutes into this, I'm going to skip this some bit. I served on 3 continents in service to my country. I lived in Germany for 3 years, was deployed to South America, traveled through at least a dozen countries in Europe, 2 or 3 in South America. I know what it's like to live in a country where you don't speak the language well, and people can tell by your language, clothing, or questions you ask that you're not from that country or culture. So now I want you to imagine for just a second. I'm the same person now walking in South America, and I'm stopped by the police because some white foreigner reportedly assaulted a local. I was then thrown in a van, taken to a facility without being allowed to call anyone. Then I was shipped off to another country without a trial. Would the U.S. feel I was given a fair treatment? Would you feel I was given a fair treatment? Now let's look at the way people are being treated here. Politicians state out loud that illegal immigrants are not eligible for due process. The 14th Amendment states the following in Section 1. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. It doesn't say any citizen, it says any person. And it's not just immigrants being treated this way, it's American citizens because they don't look right. They're being kidnapped by officers. And I will tell you, as a guy who has been a nurse for 30 years and a commissioned officer, anybody that's got enough shame that they can't show their face, they shouldn't be carrying a bag. When I retired last year, I wrote a book about an alternate history in the North Pacific, starting with Pearl Harbor. It got published this year. I'm currently working on a second one on the World War II, alternate history of World War II in Europe. A lot of research is done to write a book. People throw the word fascist around, but let me be clear. The Nazis in the 30s and through 1945 were fascists. And they had a term they used for those that didn't deserve to be treated as humans. The term was Untermenschen, which literally means underman, subman, or subhuman, which was extensively used by Germany's Nazi party to refer to their opponents and non-Aryan people they deemed as inferior. That's the same thing this administration is doing with the term illegal alien. It's being used by the administration, even when it's not accurate. Even when they say the people they picked up are American citizens, they're still calling them illegal aliens. If we don't give everyone due process, we have 2 issues. 1, we treat one group as literally less than human. 2, we've allowed the government to have the ability to treat a group that we don't like as having no rights. Who then decides which group is next? Is it homeless people? Is it Republicans? Is it Democrats? Is it people who are on drugs? Who gets to make that decision? Is it political enemies? If you can do it to one group, you can do it to any group. Where does Oswego County Sheriff stand on the issue of due process? If he was still here, I'd like him to tell me. Does he believe every person has a right to due process? Do you as county legislatures believe everyone has a right to due process? Due process, since you serve departments in the county, do you approve of all of masked unidentified men or women picking up people in your county and taking them without letting them make calls or talking to an attorney? I was out of town for a prior meeting, and I believe it was verbalized the sheriff thought more security was needed for these meetings. Do citizens in this county exercising their right to participate in the governmental process make people nervous? I don't see many threats in the crowd or on the bridges on Saturdays. And I did security for nuclear weapons for 3 years in Germany. I know what a threat looks like. It looks like people driving by, flipping us off the bird and running as close as they can to the curb, revving their engines. Nobody's mentioned that. Maybe the legislatures, or maybe the sheriff could come to the meetings and share his views with people on due process. That's a county issue. I think we all can agree on that. Because if the people in the county don't understand what due process is, or they feel differently than the majority of people, maybe we should know. You supervise people in the county. Do you believe due process is given to aliens, illegal aliens, because they're people? That's me. Maybe the legislatures could... Oh, go ahead. Shut up.
Your time is up.
Oh.
It's not your fault.
Thank you.
All right. have 5 minutes.
Hi, thank you. So I'm trying to keep this to Silver County's stuff, but wanted to say, so I'm Chance Kennedy. I work at SUNY Upstate, and my clinic that I work at is called Center for International Health. And we are a fairly new clinic, but basically what my clinic does is that we help refugees and asylum seekers start the process, the long process of getting their green card so that they become naturalized citizens. The thing is, when people come over here as refugees or asylum seekers, they are taken in by a settlement agency, Catholic Charities, Interfaith Works, RISE, those kind of groups. Basically, what that means is that these groups vouch for these people and they give them status of some kind, whether it's a visa or something of the like. So there's been a lot of terminology, if you look at really any comment section lately on social media, about this quote, illegals, unquote. And people don't know and they just are tossing around buzzwords, which is a bunch of BS, but the majority of people that are here, that are immigrants, are not illegal. They are on some kind of visa, they have some kind of paperwork. The people that we see in our clinic have social security numbers, which means that they can work, and I am strongly going to assume that the people that were at Cato had some kind of working papers because they had visas. They were not illegal. I know that some people are illegal, and that's why we get so caught up on that illegal term. But the majority of people that come here the legal way, and they are going through the process. They're getting their medical exam through our clinic or somewhere else, and they are getting their green card, and they are getting the process, and they're going to their court dates. They are doing the things that they need to do. And so the problem is when our county sheriff's department scoops up people that are doing their job, that are providing for their families either here or abroad or both, and they take away that right from people, it infuriates me because these people are doing it the right way, quote unquote. What we have seen for decades rather, sorry, that the people are doing it the right way and still they're getting in trouble for it. They're going to their court dates, they're getting taken away. They're going to work, they're getting taken away. And so the thing is, what is the right way? I guess that's my question for everybody at large, this legislature, the public, anybody that can answer my question. What is the right way? Because I can't seem to grasp my head around it. The people that come into my clinic are terrified to just come in for basic care. They are afraid that the ICE is going to scoop them up either on their way here or they're going to meet them at Upstate and catch them there. They are just here as people that are trying to better their lives to that good old American dream, and yet they cannot do that because they are not the right color, and it's just crazy to me that one of my best friends that I've met through work and one of the doctors are both Palestinian, and I wear a keffiyeh, which is the Palestinian scarf, and I was going to wear it tonight, but I figured it was going to be too radical for here, so I decided not to appease the Republicans in the room, because I didn't want to scare anybody, think I had a bomb.
We've appeased them too much. We've appeased them too much, should have warned.
So but my best friend and the doctor that I work with, that are both from Palestine, have said that on numerous occasions that I am brave for wearing my keffiyeh, that they wish that they could wear it. And it breaks my heart that this is your clothing. I am just a messenger wearing this. And I don't feel bad because I am white. But they cannot. And I'm just so angry with this country and what we stand for and what we should have stand for. And on today, on September 11th, what we should never forget about how Muslims should be treated, it's just infuriating. And immigrants are people. We are all immigrants on stolen lands, and it is just, we need to do better. And I hope this legislature does better. Thank you.
Dina Hubbard, please.
I didn't know if I was supposed to make a little something beforehand, but I just wanted to say I speak a little differently than most. I wrote something called Stand Up. And can you hear me okay? Because I'm just going to...
Hold the mic down just a smidge, sweetheart.
Oh, I won't need the mic in a second.
Thank you, love.
America, America, God shed your grace on thee. I thought that the A was for all, the land spread wide in love. Fear moved in and hatred came, and power then was craved. The A was erased, love outpaced. Our days are not the same. From united to divided, the distance way too short without that A. What will it be? America, only for themselves. America, America, God, your grace please shed on me. I was raised to help those in need, offer all I could. Never was the thought if it wasn't deserved or whether that I should. The powers that be emboldened, the anger and mistrust. They grant no grace, we've lost face, selfishness is the America, America, God, your grace please shed on me. Hope has been waned by people, their excitement for others' pain. The goal as a whole that hatred stole, equality, all is one. Hope's not lost, no matter the cost, it will be reclaimed. Remember your neighbors, remember our laws, remember our freedom. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Stand up for your neighbors, stand up for our laws, stand up for our freedom. Stand up, stand up, stand up. America, America, God shed its grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Thank you. Beverly from Amboy. Can't read your last name. What's your name for the record?
Sorry, I'm not voice. Bailey.
Thank you. You have 5 minutes.
Sorry, it's a little stuffy here. A lot of people, the fans could be turned on and be a public service when we're here. So I've lived in Amboy for 37 of my 48 years. My family has lived on the same property for a century. My parents broke ground in Amboy. My grandfather was a logger. My dad was a white-collar worker. They both served in the military in Vietnam and World War II. So I have the utmost respect for anyone who served in our military. We want to talk about local issues, so I'm focusing on that. I want to thank the legislatures. You finally spoke about roads 2 months after I heard for people out petitioning. It's an issue in our district that has been an issue for decades. Our roads are horrible. They affect everyone. Cutting corners there has that cost to all of us who drive on those roads. I'm a school bus driver. I know the damage those roads do to vehicles on the road. Our line maintenance, all this stuff in our county that money could go to, that benefits the county as a whole, instead of all the money being funneled to mainly the cities. It feels like the roads are every year being destroyed, cars being damaged, and it's the endless cycle. An endless cycle also, death. People die in our county, suicide rate, food insecurity. All of these programs could be improved if everyone worked as a team, because last I checked, America's about doing right for all, not just the some. And at the end of the day, I don't know if my tombstone will say anything important about me. I don't care. I'm a school bus driver. My joy, my life, is having my kids and my parents see me get their kids off the bus and give them the biggest smile. And guess what? Their last names, Ibrahim, Tong, Mustafa, immigrants in the city of Syracuse that out here would be looked like they had two heads and wonder why they don't speak English. Across the country, all these kids want is a chance at a better life. And I shouldn't have to worry about if ICE is going to come to my bus to take someone that is here trying to live the American dream. And I don't even need my full 5 minutes. My last point is this. It's 9/11. It's been 24 years since brave men and women tried to protect this country, sacrificed their lives. And I'm sorry that someone who dropped out of college and is the male version of Riley Gaines had to make hate their whole life and waste what potential life they could have had. Because I'm an empath, I mourn the loss of Charlie Kirk, but he does not deserve the same honor as the veterans and survivors and the dead of 9/11.
Colette Badger, please come forward. Colette Badger.
My name is Colette Badger. I live in the town of Oswego. Thomas Jefferson said, when tyranny becomes law, rebellion becomes duty. I am exhausted by the constant attacks on our Constitution. There are days I just want to throw my hands up and let the chips fall where they may. But I keep protesting and I keep speaking out because our system is broken. The silence is complicity. I do it because I know how dangerous apathy can be. It will not save our democracy. So here I am, your constituent. I have observed that many of you seem to have misplaced your loyalty. You have disregarded or ignored the people who trusted you to be their voice, and you're choosing party over people and over country. To keep it as local as possible, I want to focus on immigration. Immigration issues are due to Congress's inability to negotiate across the aisle and make common sense policy. Until the current administration, this could not be put solely at the foot of the presidency. Now, Congress would rather abdicate all their constitutional power to kneel at the feet of a draft-dodging insurrectionist who seems to be suffering from dementia and just happens to be a felon and a pedophile. And I've written and/or called every representative I have regarding the many, many assaults on our democracy and Constitution since January 20th, 2025. If I've missed you, please let me know. I'll correct it. Regarding ICE and immigration, Claudia Tenney responded to me in a letter, and I quote, "President Trump has unleashed the Customs and Border Control to arrest and deport criminal, illegal immigrants, including dangerous criminals and those with foreign gangs or terrorist affiliations. Please explain to me how people who are showing up to work day after day, supporting their families, nursing their babies, harvesting our food, paying taxes, and working jobs that many American-born people refuse to do. Dangerous criminals with foreign gangs or terrorist affiliations, those taken in Oswego County and elsewhere, were mothers and fathers, homeowners and community members, and brown." Tenney went on to say that this is a national security and humanitarian imperative. Really? How humane is it to send people to concentration camps without the constitutional guarantee of due process? Children and loved ones left behind not knowing very basic information like, where's my mama? Where's my husband? Where's my wife, my breadwinner? Yet Tenney had the audacity to say, we can and must accomplish these items in a manner that is compassionate, principled, and rooted firmly in our nation's highest and most treasured values.
Shame.
Current actions are not compassionate, principled, or highly treasured value of any American I know. Current policy is an abomination, an embarrassment, and completely anti-American. As most tyrants do, this administration is targeting the most vulnerable. People just looking for a better life are showing up to work, attending immigration hearings, trying to do the right thing, and then they're ambushed by ICE. Yes, ambushed. If they're undocumented, give them a path to citizenship. This is right out of the fascist playbook. Ethnic cleansing, authoritarianism by emergency. Our democracy is in peril. And as James Madison says, well, I'm going to say, history has its eyes on you. Decide what side of history you all want to be on. To this land, it will be in the guise of fighting for foreign enemy.
Thank you. Could we now have Nikki Sardella come forward?
Where did he go? Come back or no?
I think he's still talking with the gentleman who would have been Randy Wilkins.
Convenient, isn't it? Convenient? Convenient? Did he come back?
He's meeting with a constituent.
Good evening. You remember me.
Thank you. You have 5 minutes.
Thank you for your time. If you remember me, I was at the last meeting I had spoken about serving my community and then having my medical, my food stamp benefits removed from me while I'm waiting for my disability hearing next month for a final determination. I had spoken to my community about that. No one did anything. So I did. I'm the woman that stood for the last 5 days holding space for an auntie whose niece stood outside a rally last week in regards to her aunt being taken. She lived really, really far away, and she was scared to leave her aunt. She came up to the circle that we were standing at. She came up and she needed a hug, so I gave her one. Then she collapsed in my arms and told me that her aunt lived there, it was in the Shaman, and that they lived far away. So I made a promise to her that I wasn't going to leave her aunt, and I didn't. Do you all hear this community right now? Do you hear how fired up they are? A broken woman with a cane. That's all it was. It's just fear. It's just fear, y'all. That's it. And I'm proud of each and every one of you that have shown up. This community wants change. They just don't want it through you. There's a peaceful protest every Tuesday. Elders and children come. It's across from my ice cream store, McDonald's. It's peaceful. It's educational. It's put on by a really smart group of people, really just trying to reach the community. They decided to come up and lend support to me taking a stand. They stood outside the customs agency. Peaceful, prayerful people. Typically, this group only receives about 10 to 15 people every week. That is not my group. I'm a single person working by myself to be a voice for a community that's asking for it, but is enveloped in fear. And I'm here to stand for you, and I have, and I will continue to. That group came up to the customs agency. Tell me why your city attorney contacted me, the loudest voice that had nothing to do with it, asking me for police presence, asking me to put up barricades. Can you tell me why a peaceful prayerful protest requires police presence, barricades? Who pays for that? And then blames you that you're costing taxpayer money because you're demonstrating your right to speak out on things that you don't like, that the people that are supposed to be representing you aren't taking care of for you? Could someone here please tell me why, at a peaceful protest, you had a drone deployed, and why a helicopter went up in the air, and who paid for that? Because you know what? I asked your city attorney. I have it on tape. Tell me how the city attorney in his city doesn't know how a helicopter got deployed over a protest in custom and immigration airspace. Who approved that? There's things going on in this city that you all aren't aware of. They think you're ignorant. Oswego County residents that I know are smart. They're shrewd. They're intelligent. They know how to survive. They're resilient. They're lying to you. They're all in collusion with ICE. Every single one of them. What are you going to do, Oswego? Use your voice, right? Isn't that what we did this weekend? We used our voices. We made national news. International social media. You did that. You did. Give yourselves a hand. Without yous, this wouldn't be getting the media attention that it's having. Podunk, Oswego, New York. You did that. You did that. You forever changed history. Understand the value of what you've done here. You have momentum. Keep going. You have empowerment. And you have your community willing to work together no matter what side they're on. They're tired and they're ready for more. And we're going to give it to them. And if you're ready to fight and if you're ready to work, I will stand and I will continue to stand. And I'm not going anywhere.
Could you wrap it up, please? 5 minutes.
Thank
to
you.
Be fair. Kathleen Winter, please come forward. Kathleen Winter?
Calvin.
Here she comes.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. 5 minutes, please.
You got it. I won't need 5 minutes, and I will pass on any extra time to my friend Nikki.
That's not how that works.
I know.
Can't do that.
I know. I'm just playing. My name's Kate Winter. I'm from West Monroe. I've lived in West Monroe over 20 years. I started a North Shore Indivisible group in West Monroe because I didn't feel like driving up here every week. And I'm not going to stop protesting. I'm not going to stop protesting. We protest on Mondays at the four corners of 11 and 49 from 5 to 6. We call it May Day Monday. We protest on Saturdays, every Saturday, rain or shine, unless there is a state of emergency in Oswego County. We will be there. We've been there since March of this year. 3 quick things. I would love to see more space because I suspect that all of these people and the just south of 20 people in that conference room would appreciate more space. And I only say that because this is generous to say that probably 50% of what went on in this room I was able to hear and understand over there. And that's not okay for any taxpayer or anyone who's looking to be here and be represented and be counted and be heard. So that's comment there. And my spouse and I were not able to make it to the last meeting. I don't know if anyone is able to answer questions or not, but were flags flown half-staff for Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman and her husband who were murdered? No. I'm astounded, disgusted, disgusted. And I was waiting for it. I was hoping it wouldn't happen, but I was waiting for it because this is the county I live in. And y'all are pretty predictable. I don't condone, nor does Indivisible as a whole, and North Shore Indivisible, IOC, we don't condone violence. I speak for the entire organization. We don't condone violence of any kind. My heart breaks, absolutely breaks, for Charlie Kirk's family. Absolutely breaks. It's tragic. Absolutely tragic what happened to that man. However, that is a risk we take when we decide to spread misinformation, disinformation, and propagate hate in this country. I'm devastated for his family and his babies, who will never know their father. But I gotta tell you what, that half-staff, bullshit. Excuse my French. Not okay.
Melissa Horton, public speaker, and her husband, murdered. No moment of silence, no half-staff here. But a young man spreading hate, misinformation, disinformation, half-staff. Come on, come on. And lastly, and for my legislator in West Monroe who's meeting with a constituent, God bless him. Leaving early? Leaving early? Are you kidding me? Perhaps that would change if y'all were paid overtime. Overtime that would be paid for on the dwindling dime of the marginalized taxpayers in one of the poorest counties in the state.
Say it again. That's right.
So, thank you for allowing me to be heard. I love my country. Thank you.
Thank you. And now our last speaker, Patty Samolo.
First, I'm going to speak as a spokesperson for Indivisible Oswego County. Can you hear me?
Yes.
In honor of the 9/11 heroes, in memory of the children lost to gun violence, which is the leading cause of death for children in our country. I'm sorry, legislator from Hannibal left.
Yeah.
In sympathy with the family of Charlie Kirk and all people who are touched by gun violence, and in recognition of the tensions that we have seen on the bridge when we rally on Saturday, we are taking a pause this Saturday only as a cooling off period in hopes that everyone will be safe and cooler heads will prevail and kindness and love for each other can reemerge. That's from Indivisible. This is from me. The Oswego County Sheriff's Office is committed to providing for the peace and security of all residents and visitors in Oswego County. This statement appears underneath the sheriff's photograph on the department's website. It is a simple and seemingly sincere statement. It should say it all, but unfortunately, it is not true. For all the many reasons you have heard tonight, and I won't elaborate further because everyone has said everything that's in my heart as well. The sheriff's very public desire to please Claudia Tenney and Donald Trump has come at the expense of those residents of Oswego County who need his security and protection the most. We believe in due process for all. We believe in human rights for all. Consequently, I am calling for Sheriff Hilton's resignation. Not that I am anybody, but someone has to say it, And I say it loud and clear, I think he has failed in his legal obligations to protect this county. Thank you.
Or just wait.
Oh, is that it?
Yes, that concludes our meeting for tonight. Remind you that the next meeting is October 9th. Thank you and drive safe.